Hey everybody, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. Welcome to our NFP exploratory session. I'm just finishing up getting these charts ready. Boy, what a absolutely insane day yesterday was. I mean, the DAX moved, I think, 600 and something pips. The euro ended up climbing higher, which was an absolute shock to me. Just an absolutely crazy day. The oil short unfortunately lost, just to kind of add to a frustrating week, no doubt. But at least we can finish it kind of on a high note. These news trading sessions are always a whole lot of fun. For those of you who might be attending a news session for the first time, what we do is we try to line things up on the 15-minute charts and look for fresh signals, good signals on the 15-minute. And of course, we experiment and try, anything that seems appealing. This time around, I was going to try and take some of the pre-signals since we're doing demo trading. And unfortunately, gold has already moved with a great signal a little while ago. And this is exactly the type of signal we look for under normal circumstances during both news trading and just if we were to take a 15-minute signal by itself. So that's pretty right on the money. So hopefully we'll get some fresh signals. This is already running a little bit. This is not the first time we've seen things move before the news. Do you know what caused this as indices went down as well? Well, let's check out what we got going on. Really, for the Friday, there isn't any sort of news other than all the stuff that's supposed to be coming out in 10 minutes. Really, the only thing that might be attributable is a leak. That can always happen, or people simply trading before the news in reaction to what, into the ECB the day before. So, because there was just so much price action the day before, this could be a continuation of that. I'm very interested to see now, obviously, what happens during NFP after yesterday's huge moves. So it looks like the Dow is rather close to where we would want it to start, which is close, up in here with the Dynafibs. It's close on the trading bands on the Momentum Master system, so it's possible you get a pullback. Gold seems like it's making a nice pop already, though. I'll put the FTSE out there because my other MetaTrader probably will not be working when the news is released. Of course, getting these kind of signals beforehand kind of takes the fun out of it. It looks like gold's already moved almost 70 pips in the 15-minute candle before the actual news. Comment is, I'm dying to short the euro. Yeah, me too. Just want to try to find a good spot to do it. So we may have a very productive and good week of trading next week, as we see, some pullbacks and then some reversals, depending on the instrument. Should be a lot of fun. And of course, if you are watching any Forex pairs or any instruments that I'm not tracking, keep us updated so we have an idea of what's going on out there. Just getting the footsie set up now. The euro itself is actually in a pretty good spot. We love to see things get close to support and resistance and tighten up before the news. So the closer it comes to our Dynafibs on the Fibmaster, the better chance that we have for getting a clean break to one side or another. And that's absolutely what we look for our news trading. Gold has really taken quite the little pop off here. We're talking 73 or so pips prior to the news. So I don't know if that's a leak or if it is just jumpiness in the market before the news. Of course, we'll see what the result is in about 3 minutes. Oil also looks like it's taking a bit of a jump. Not quite as good of a signal because we didn't have the Dynafibs involved, but somewhat of a signal. We got a refresh. So DAX seems to be pretty drawn away from the Dynafib. So in this case, we'd be looking for a pullback or a reversal to the other side to get a signal. I think the U.S. markets are in decent position. Again, with the pullback, I think the S&P 500 was pretty close to support and resistance. Yeah. So not exactly the straight, flat markets we like to see before news, and so we have to remember that today. And that's most likely because of the crazy big day we had yesterday. The best news trading scenarios we find is when the markets get very, very flat prior to the news. We get right into that support and resistance on our charts before the release, and then the breakaway, which usually results in some good signals. So got a little bit less than a minute till the release of the news. Okay, and we do have the news out. We got a pullback in gold. So again, that's the refresh we were looking for. So we can now look for a signal. So gold is good to go there. Let's check out the Dow. Dow made a pullback, refresh on Momentum Master, almost got to the bearish Dynafib. Would consider that just about enough of a refresh to make it work if it happens. So look for a signal there. Oil also making it pull back to support and resistance. So potentially we have a signal on oil as well. The DAX seems to be completely out of reach. The S&P 500 has made a good little refresh, so we can look for a signal there. We'll look at the FTSE, although I have a feeling it's the same scenario. The FTSE's a lot closer than the DAX to creating a signal. So it's a little bit opposite-ended. On Momentum Master we see a bullish market. On Fibmaster we see a bearish one. So a little bit out of alignment there. But of course it's the resulting signal that we're looking for. So there is a possibility. Gold is back down to 62.50. Let's see here. I'm getting a 3-candle PFT on the DAX from a super convergence zone I have on the 15 minutes. Okay, let's see here. Yes, okay. It's taken a little bit of a jump, but that certainly could be a long, particularly if it breaks quite a bit higher. So keep us posted on that. I don't have the same signal, so I won't be taking that one. But if you do get an entry by the end of this 15-minute candle, please keep us informed. Gold and oil seem to be pretty good candidates here. We just have to see if we get some resulting movement now. Hi there. Welcome. Yeah, Dow's made a good pullback, so we'll see if we can get a resulting signal there. I want to look at the actual numbers themselves. A little bit better than expected. Trade balance a little bit worse than expected. 5% unemployment. Huh. That's hilarious. In case any of you are attending and don't live in the United States, which I know actually a good portion of our members don't, 5% unemployment in the United States is a very, very misleading number. Anecdotally, you'd have a hard time finding any community that I can think of in the United States that would be able to kind of reflect a 5% unemployment rate, because that's very, very low. That's like a good economy firing on all cylinders to have 5%, and people are struggling a lot more than that number would suggest. Normally speaking, on our big news trading, our best signals do seem to come from that at the end of the first 15-minute candle after release. However, in this case, it looks like a lot of these instruments, that is really just our kind of our setup candle or our refresh candle to potentially give us a signal afterwards. We'll have to see at the end of the next 15-minute candle, or potentially, if things really start moving here in the next 6-7 minutes. But this is kind of atypical that we don't see, a break right away. But everything seems refreshed, so now we are in position to look for some setups. Just doing a quick scan. Are there any Forex pairs going crazy? Something you guys are watching that I don't have on. Oil needs to launch a little bit higher. The Dow is headed up, but again, no signal there. FTSE's got a refresh on the Fibmaster, but really, I mean, what we'd love to see now would be 15-minute rejection that closes below 62.50, which would also fire up pretty well on Momentum Master. Euro's heading down, okay. So I think I have the Euro-ish. Yeah, in fact, if we could get a blast off to the downside in the next couple minutes, that'd be a pretty good looking signal. Or in the next candle, if we shot back up, that'd be also a pretty good looking signal. We have PFT and standard setup. Well, it doesn't appear that we've got anything from the first signal, or from the first candle. So we'll have to wait and see if we get any crazy movement in this next 15-minute candle. This news movement has been extremely mild compared to yesterday after the ECB, and that's may have a lot to do with why we're getting such kind of mellow markets today for NFP. So we'll see how we do at the end of this candle, and then go from there. And that's a good point. One of our members just brought up. The report seems like it was in line with what was expected. Yeah, and again, that's something that's pretty common. We get the most movement when what's reported has a good variation from what's expected. When we have things that are exactly in line with what's expected, a lot of times it leads to kind of much smaller moves. The market moves bigger on surprises, so to speak. So. I remember saying dollar and euro indices back to where they started. Yeah, that kind of seems to be the theme so far. Yeah, oil looks like it might be taking a turn, sell off. So we may have a signal in oil at the end of this candle. And potentially a signal on the Dow. What we'd be looking for is that rejection to come with a break below this recent support. So could be a signal there. Same thing with the S&P 500. So a little bit stronger movement. We may have ourselves a ball game. Gold seems rather muted though. So we've got about 8.5 minutes before we can potentially see the next signal. Well, if oil holds where it's at right now, it's broken under 42. Right now, 41.63. We'd have a sell signal on oil. So there's some life in this yet. The Dow is also inching closer towards the signal, but oil seems to be the best setup so far. Of course, you don't want the entry signal to run too much. I mean, it's demo trading anyway, so we'll have to see what the follow-through is. Or it allows us to see the follow-through, even on a candle that we might avoid normally because it's too big. $136 pips so far, or more now. It's 150. We have less than 5 minutes till candle close now. Oil looks like it's going to give us a signal. My plan with this is to probably take one position at candle close and then maybe put a second sell limit up a little bit higher. Well, I see one of our members already took oil on the 5-minute setup and am out now waiting for the 15. Did you end up with, what did you end up with on the trade? $45 pips, not bad, not bad. Nice win. That's awesome. And again, with news trading, we're not trying to, to get hundreds of pips. Just want to, since we have such a high win percentage, it seems, grabbing a few dozen pips is absolutely a big win, especially for this big kind of news trading. So, there are cases where we make more than that, but as far as I'm concerned, I think for the most part, I've been very happy grabbing a few dozen pips out of news trades, since we do a lot of time get several setups. And that's just a 5-minute setup. We may also have brewing, it's about 3.5 minutes now till a 15-minute setup on oil. Gold has popped up a little bit. If we can make the full engulf and a little bit more, that looks like we'll have a long setup on gold, short setup on oil, and the Dow is getting close. If we can just get below this near-term support and resistance, although it's not 100% necessary, really, just the engulf with the signal would be enough, but I think as far as the trade goes, we'd have a much better chance if we broke under that short-term support and resistance, which does appear to be happening. So we may have short Dow, short oil, long gold, and probably short S&P 500 as well. Yep. So we may have some signals to track after the session after all. Yeah. I mean, if we were to close where we are now on gold, it'd be a long trade for sure. Yep, still looking good for the oil short, although with the retrace, wouldn't need to put that sell limit in there, just take one position. News out of OPEC, not doing anything to cut production. Oh, okay, that would account for the dip in the price. Thank you for sharing that. Got about a minute and a half. Looks like short oil, long gold, short Dow, short S&P 500. It's going to be kind of a photo finish with the Dow, probably the S&P. But definitely short oil. Let's see, long gold is going to be pretty close too. It looks like I'm going to be longing gold and shorting oil. And those are the trades I'm going to take here in about 30 seconds. Yeah, I agree with you. The comment is definitely not liking Dow unless it breaks lower. I'm right there with you. If we don't get clearance of that support and resistance area, it's not really a great signal for as far as I'm concerned. The Dow and the gold look good. Or sorry, oil and gold look really good. First, oh, here it comes, here it comes. Last 10 seconds, and away we go. I'm going to go ahead and short the Dow as well. Be right back. Okay, so shorted oil, longed gold, shorted the Dow, although even on the demo account I took a half position with the Dow just because it wasn't very, very pretty. So now we'll see the run out over the next few hours, see if we can't make another solid news trading session. And of course, now that we have the hourly candles closed, so gold's looking like a winner so far. I mean, in the first few seconds of the next candle. Oil looks like it's on the winning track already. That's good. And the Dow is about, well, just around break even. So let's check this out on the 1 hour. See if we have any hourly signals to go along with it. Okay, so we have a 1 hour signal on gold for long as well. And oil is headed nicely into profit so far, about 20 pips up. That's looking good. And it looks like oil also has an hourly signal for a short. And that's still winning. The Dow is also winning. So far 3 trades taken, 3 winners so far. And on the 1 hour, the Dow is not a signal. Oh, DAX is going now too? Oh yeah, we had a almost an engulf on the DAX. So the only thing I didn't like about it from the 15-minute standpoint is I like to take the trades that come from Dynafibs and trading bands at the same time. But certainly this was a standard setup for the 15-minute last hour. Oh, S&P 500 also had an engulf with a signal, and that's winning as well. So far looking good again. Looking good. Gold's up almost 30 pips. So we'll count that as a win. Oil is making really good headway here. Oil's up just about 40. Oh, it did come from the bands on your charts. And that's the thing. I mean, you have different price feeds. So if it, you have to take the setups that come from your chart. So you may end up with an extra win out of it where I didn't get the opportunity to trade it because it wasn't the same type of setup. And that's why you should always be trading setups based on what you have on your own broker. And so that's a good example of that. Oil, that counts as a win, 40 pips already. And the Dow up 40 pips already. So again, a win. I've hit break even on all three of my setups. And so once again, so far at least, and I'm not sure how far they'll run, but that target of just grabbing just a few dozen pips out of news trading, I'll let the rest run. Closed half of the position across all three, and we'll let the rest run now. It looks like we've got, even though this took a little bit longer to launch, this looks like another profitable news trading session, which is awesome. It seems that we have had really, really good results here. Oil coming into a good area of support resistance as well. Ooh, look at it go. All right. Again, and I think I've said this a lot over the last few news trading sessions. I wish I was taking these trades live. This would be a good way to finish the week. Nice. Very nice indeed. Oil up 60 pips now. Not bad for 6 minutes. Gold up 70 pips. Woo! This is turned into a real nice trading session. And Dow is up 50. All right, one of our members is saying, got my 50 pips on oil and gold and still in on the DAX. Nice, nice. I don't know. I just, every time we do this, I become more and more impressed. I think definitely I'll be going live in 2016 with these news trades. Of course, they're still high risk. They're never going to be low risk. But I mean, the incredible win percentage we're getting from the system, I mean, it can't be trifled with. It's not like it's just happened a couple times. I mean, it seems virtually every time we see news, we're getting, results kind of like this or better. Well, I don't know. This is one of the better ones to go that far that fast. All right, guys. Well, oh, nice. Over 70 pips on oil now. All right, well, just going to have to let these run. Ooh, there we go. 80 pips now on oil. I'm just going to have to let these run and see how far they go. Probably going to clock out the second half via trailer. Yeah, I agree with you. I think this approach may be working. It's actually working really well. So another exciting news trading session, guys. Very good stuff. Very good stuff. So we got basically, 1 hour signals. So even if you didn't want to trade the 15-minute chart, you still had good signals from the 1 hour. And these, I mean, just in a matter of 10 minutes, we've gotten some serious gains. Certainly a week's worth or 2 weeks worth of pips, in just one set of trades. So that's awesome. That's awesome. What a good way to finish the week. So after, a challenging, kind of frustrating week otherwise, it's nice to be able to finish on an NFP that produces such good returns. So anyway, guys, I hope you have a great weekend, and I want to thank you for attending. Of course, we'll, obviously I'll be monitoring these trades. I'll let them trail out and see how far they go. But, I've already banked some great results on half of the trades. So It's always fun doing this with you guys, and we will definitely be getting at it again for the next big news. You know, considering these results, we may want to add some different kinds of news. I think ECB's got to be added going forward. So you have a great weekend too. Thank you very much. I will catch you guys at the beginning of the next week. Yeah, it is. That's the correct phrase. It is amazing. So congratulations for everybody that attended and was able to, I mean, at least make demo trades. But fun stuff. It's always good to see a win. So I'll catch you guys later. Take care.